Chris Webber clears
moving
Jokic.
forward. And
Yeah, in
See,
bad
this is what
fiveness.
Ron talking about. This is what Ron talking about right here. This
That's not crazy. That's not crazy.
Yes, it is. It's fucking
Phil,
not. Chris Webber does not clear. He does not clear Joker. Number one,
okay, he doesn't clear, but he's a better basketball player. He doesn't clear, but he's a better basketball player.
No, he isn't.
Wait. Chris Webber's better than Jokic?
Chris Webber is a better basketball player than Nikola Jokic.
No,
he doesn't clear him, but he's better. Okay, we can move on. I just got to keep it real with y'all, but we can move on. I'm just tired. I'm tired of y'all living in the oblivion. Chris Webber was a dog.
Oh, you could be a dog and not be
He
better.
wasn't better than you. Put some respect on Chris Webber.
You could be a dog and not be better.
I got to back off. I got to defend Docs. I got to defend Docs. I got to defend Docs. If we're talking about college players,
no,
Chris
we're
Webber
not.
clears Jokic.
We're not doing that.
No, clears Jokic.
No, we're talking about Chris Webber.
Oh my God.
My thing is, I'm not blinded by all this new shit. I'm not impressed. Okay, I don't see. Oh my God, nobody's ever done this shit before. No. Chris Webber is a better basketball player. You put Chris Webber on that Denver Nuggets, and they would have won 3 championships by now.
Why didn't they win one with Chris Webber?
Because
did they get? No, we're not doing that. Did they get cheated in 2001 when the Lakers mopped the floor with them in 4 games?
Right now, you
they get cheated in 2000 when Chris Webber was on the crew and they pushed the game, pushed the 5.
Go ahead. I'm gonna cook your grades out here. Look. You talking about why they didn't win? Oh, how come Ron, you talk about that? I'll tell you why. Because Jokic don't got to deal with the Spurs and Tim Duncan. Jokic don't got to deal with the Lakers and Shaquille O'Neal. Yo, cousin, you know this. Chill, you were there. That's what I'm saying. Chill. You look. You capping for young dudes, chilling is sickening.
Dude capping for young cats.
Yeah, you know for a fact that this NBA is not that NBA. If Jokic was dealing with what Chris Webber was dealing with, I'm talking about Dirk, KG, your cousin Shaq, Tim Duncan, all these dudes. Jokic, we wouldn't be talking. We wouldn't. Yeah, obviously Kobe. I'm just talking about the big stuff. We would Rashid, all these dudes. We wouldn't even be talking about Jokic like this. If he was playing in 2000 from 1999 up to 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 5, 6, 7, we wouldn't even be talking about Jokic like this. Y'all need to cut this shit out.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Ox. I was
wouldn't even be no Nikola Jokic.
Basketball.
Wouldn't even. I know some teams Jokic couldn't even make.
Shout out.
Okay. So
Pelican Bay. Pelican Bay 5-on-5 hoops.
Let's rewind. Let's rewind. So this Joker, this version of Joker that we seeing right now
in the 2000s show.
Or hold on.
Ate up and sat on the bench.
Hold on. So this version of Joker that we see right now over the last 3 or 4 years. Number one, he starts on that Kings team in front of D-Bok. Get D-Bok off the floor. Joker starting on that.
He can't guard nobody.
How he starting? To say that he not, I'm out.
How he starting?
I am gone.
He can't guard nobody.
There's no way that D-Bok is starting over.
D-Bok passed just as good as Jokic. He passed just as good as Jokic, if not better. He played much better defense than Jokic. Jokic to have his big fat ass sitting on the bench watching D-Bok. That's what happened.
That's just not true. He's a
Rick out of
He's a better scorer than D-Bok. You ain't playing for us. But okay, so no problem. So he's a better scorer than D-Bok. He a better passer than D-Bok. He a better long ball shooter than D-Bok. He a better playmaker than D-Bok. He a better playmaker.
I'm talking about real basketball. I'm not talking about.
So let's talk about real basketball because if I'm not mistaken, the Detroit Pistons won the NBA championship in back-to-back seasons with a stretch 5 and Bill Laimbeer, and they made it look bad. So that was going on.
Yeah. But Bill Laimbeer played defense.
I hate to step in and interrupt this intense yap session that you're currently watching, but I just have to inform you on all the amazing, spectacular, fabulous, endless ways to play and win over at Prize Picks. Basketball fans, I know the season is just tipping off. Yes, I know this. But you know what that means? It means that you have an opportunity to pick your favorite players and their matchups that are the most thrilling, and you can win money from these. With Prize Picks, you can play daily NBA contests and test your hoop knowledge by choosing the player projections in every single stat line imaginable to make your prize picks and take home some nice hard-earned cash. Are you a rookie in the game? Don't even sweat it. I got the playbook for you right here. All you have to do is download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play 5 here with Prize Picks. So what are you waiting for? Download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and join me as we break down all of our amazing daily picks right here on the panel. Prize Picks. Run your game, control your game, win your game. It's easy, baby. It's easy.
Right. So, and Joker rebounds.
Jokic, that's not defense. Jokic ain't guarding nobody.
Ox, to the point. Jokic is second in steals right now, Ox.
I don't care. Jokic ain't guarding nobody. Nobody.
Right. And Divock had to deal with Weber. But I'm sorry, Divock had to deal with Shaq. But Shaq had to deal with him. And just like Shaq would have to deal with Joker, just like not Alonzo Mourning, I'm sorry, just like any of those guys on the Trailblazers, any of those guys on the Phoenix Suns, any of those guys like Rick Smits, they would have had to deal with Joker too. And I'm saying this to your face, Ox. Joker would have bust Alonzo Mourning ass. He would have bust Patrick Ewing's ass. All of them do. He would have bust. He would have bust. All of these dudes that you're talking about in the 2000s. He would have bust Rasheed Wallace ass. He would have bust Dirk's ass. Yes, he would. He would have bust Rasheed Wallace ass. He would have bust Dirk's ass. Yes, he would have. He would have bust Amari Stoudemire ass.
Put Jokic on that team instead of Shaq.
He would have bust Amari Stoudemire ass. He would have bust.
Here together, Mario little something. Here together, Mario something for sure.
All of them dudes,
but not Rasheed, not Rasheed, not Pat, not David Robinson.
None of those dudes bring to the game what Joker is bringing to the game. That level of offense, as good as Chris Webber was. Let's make sure we clear about who Chris Webber was. He wasn't with the drama. Joker is with the drama. Chris Webber wasn't. And the reason why I'm always saying that because it's a fact. Chris Webber was not a
fact.
No drama.
He has proven
that boy ain't with no drama like Mary.
You can't keep spreading these lying narratives.
I'm not spreading it.
You
thought it was an anomaly when he was at Michigan and he called the timeout. That wasn't it.
Somebody told him to call
that wasn't an anomaly. That's who he is. When we get to the bigger stages and the bets get higher, he is not with the drama. He proved that over and over again.
David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Rasheed Wallace, these dudes would have had Jokic looking like Martin Gortat, okay? Getting nothingness. I'm tired of this. I'm just tired of this shit. Moore's on the internet lying, talking about this Thunders team will beat that Thunders team.
Oh, you see that?
A whole bunch of shit just going on. I'm just tired of this shit. I'm not impressed, okay? I'm not impressed. I seen things. I was there. I was there.
I was there too.
And that's what I'm saying, Chill. What was you doing?
This guy Joker is fantastic.
You should have been there watching basketball I was.
I was in the building for game 1 when the Lakers came into your building and beat you.
There's a lot of distractions at Arco Arena though. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I was in the building in game 5. I was in the building when they swept y'all out the playoffs. I was in the building, and one of the main reasons why they swept y'all because Webber wasn't with the drama.
They would have swept the Nuggets too, though. Chill. Don't act like that was a Chris Webber thing, and like Jokic would have done something different against the Lakers. That's all I'm saying. Like, let's not act like Jokic would have been on the team instead of Divock or Chris Webber, and we would have been able to beat that team. That's just what happened.
Well, first of all, Joker brings a completely different level of offense if he's on that team against that Laker team. Y'all was in a dogfight with them. So if you add Joker's passing, you add Joker's bucket getting, you add Joker's playmaking ability, you add Joker's ability to clean glass the way he does. You do because you lost.
You adding sugar to candy. We don't need no more sugar here. You know what I'm saying? Well, I need you to bring something else. Jokic ain't bringing nothing else.
What else? Well, he shoots the long ball better than
he got to be able to stop somebody.
Well, nobody was stopping.
Who he gonna stop?
First and foremost, let's get what David Robinson. What Olajuwon did to David Robinson is an anomaly. More times than not, your star is gonna have to cancel out this other star because you're not gonna be able to stop people. That's gonna have to happen. If Chris Webber, who I can't say so many times, I've said this. It was the most meaningless 20 and 10 that I've ever seen from him. Because when we get late in games, I got nothing from him. Zero. Particularly, and you've heard me say this to you a bunch of times, Ox, about in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, which D-Bach told us if we get Game 7 on our home floor, we're winning. Chris Webber goes 53 minutes. He scores 5 points in the second half, including the overtime, where he played 53 minutes. He gave us nothing. He wasn't with the drama. When the bets got higher, he cheesed up. That's who he is.
He ain't cheesed up.
That's
he
who
just
he
missed
is.
some shots. Like that happens. It happens. All I'm saying, chill. I'm just simply saying that Jokic in the time would have not done more than Chris Webber did against those dudes that Chris had to play against.
So
That's all I'm
nasty. Well, you just the random polls out of nowhere on Twitter, no context.
Random. I'm just interacting with the people.
He would have been Joker for all intents purposes, and everything that he brought.
Greg Ostertag.
Who's that? Jokic?
Is that what I just heard? Did I just hear?
Greg
Ostertag. Brian Reeves, you couldn't give him nothing.
Greg Ostertag.
Greg Jokic.
He wasn't doing nothing when we was playing real basketball. I don't know what this shit they doing in the NBA is today. I'm talking about real basketball.
I'm talking about real bigs. Like Joker's not gonna be able to stop Shaq. He can't. He can't stop Shaq. Just like Tim Duncan couldn't stop him. And Tim Duncan was just like Dave Robinson couldn't stop him. These are elite defenders, and they couldn't stop him. So Joker wouldn't have been able to stop him neither. But he would have caused a lot of problems on the offense.
With that being said, though, like,
can we be honest about Shaq defense for once, please?
Oh,
I mean, Shaq was getting filleted. I'm sorry, bro. If he had to play against a big like this, he would be getting filleted.
What year are we talking about?
I'm talking about period. Shaq was
playing.
Shaq had good defensive years, but he obviously did not play offenses like this. Like Shaq would have been getting played. Let's please stop doing this.
He wasn't better than me. I don't believe that.
He wasn't a better defender.
I don't think Joker is frying Shaq. I don't think
frying.
The thing about it too is
off the movement alone, it would be a fry session. Shaq in space versus that would have been a fry session, and Shaq was
so essentially what they're doing. So these two dudes are canceling each other out because
I don't know canceling. I don't do canceling.
Giving him hell. I just saw Brook Lopez twice give him the business.
But canceling.
So I'm trying to figure out what
exactly. But this is what I'm saying. We use words like canceling. I'm just like I don't say that word. Who said like Gilbert and you? There's no canceling. Like Brook Lopez having 22 or 26 in that game. And then a minus 18 because he provides no real value. Like nothing you're doing is effectual. I'm saying like I don't know if they would cancel each other.
Value. That's 100.
I didn't say Shaq. Did I say Shaq wouldn't?
But that's what we're talking about.
If you would shut your hole, I'll be able to finish my point. But you won't let me talk. That's the problem. You ain't talking to Ox. You're talking to a real basketball knower. What I'm telling you is that in this situation right now. That if you had both of them play versus each other, I think it would be an interesting series. It would be a reflection of two different eras, and then they would both struggle with each other. But they would need an extra big to guard Shaq, obviously. But if you had another big on the floor next to Shaq with against Jokic, you're getting flied. You know, it's over.
I've seen Nas Reed and Karl Anthony Towns.
Are we really gonna rewrite history on who was flaming Shaq in the playoffs at the center position? Can we really have this conversation?
Well, hold on, no. I'm talking about Shaq guarding Jokic. Now, you can bring all of that up, cool. I'm talking about Shaq guarding Jokic. I think Shaq would have gave Jokic some problems on defense.
Wait, what? When you say Nas Reed do what?
I'm not saying that he'll lock him up. Well, Nas Reed didn't lock him up. Karl Anthony Towns didn't lock him up. They just made it tough for him.
Which is the idea, Ron.
I think Shaq could do
so. I don't want to. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? We shouldn't do this. Shaq had people he struggled with for years. So what are we doing? Including Arvydas Sabonis. He sucked down the stretch of that series versus Portland. Are we misremembering? Are we misremembering?
That's enough. You just named somebody else better than Jokic.
Cool, Ox. Cool. Are we misremembering what Shaq did in these series? He played versus Rick Smith. Y'all be scared.
Hey, respect Rick Smith.
No, I'm not respecting Rick Smith. No.
Okay, but it's centers like that we can do with Jokic too. Like, he didn't choose Rick Smith. He didn't say, hey.
And Rick Smith gave him issues. This is what I don't understand. Like, we're rewriting
issues too?
His defense? Shaq's defense was largely predicated on his rim protection. Great, which he was okay at. but he was not doing it. Yeah, he
Shaq was not an okay rim protector.
No, he wasn't. He was not. He was not Mutombo.
We're not going to rewrite history.
Mutombo. Hold on, time out.
Well, it's not just Mutombo. Okay.
We yelling into the mic. We yelling into the mic. Cool.
Now you're yapping. You are yapping now. That's what you're doing.
Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning, David Robinson were all better rim protectors than him. So he's not that tier. I'm not done. Shut your face. There was a gap between him and those players as rim protection. Is that not true? That's cool. But chill. He wasn't an elite rim protector like those guys. He wasn't. That's just a fact. But you can say he was good. You can say he was good.
He wasn't good.
That's fine. No, he was good. He wasn't. He was good. He was a good rim protector.
Just because he wasn't Mutombo at the rim does not mean that he wasn't elite.
I'm so glad. You know what can happen? 20 years from now, people are going to be like, wait, Swiper, in 2024, Jokic was second in steals. Yeah, he was a great defender. You should have seen him in those passing lanes. Wow, great defense. I'm going to do the same nonsense y'all do for Shaq.
It's not.
Y'all telling me about Shaq's defense.
He's not an okay rim protector.
He's a good rim protector. He's a good, but there's a gap between him and the elite rim protector. It is. And he can't move in space. He can't move in space in 2000. He's not guarding anybody on switch. He's not guarding in the drop. What are we doing? If he had to play versus these players, he'd be getting fried.
At the end of the game,
fried.
Yes, he
was. Zubac?
What are you talking about, dog? If James Harden had him on an island and pick and roll, he's getting cooked. If Jamal Murray,
if James Harden has
Tyrese Halliburton, Tyrese Maxey, SGA, they're cooking Shaq. LeBron and Luka and Austin Reeves cooking Shaq.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, that's the problem. The further away he gets from the rim, the less value he would have. He's worse in space than Rudy, than Anthony Davis, than Bam Adebayo, than Jared Allen, than Evan Mobley, than Chet Holmgren. Matter of fact, he's not a better defender than Isaiah Hartenstein. But y'all want to do this capping nonsense.
You know what?
He's not. He's objectively not.
Not true.
It is true. He was never known as a defensive ace at this point. He wasn't. So y'all can keep lying and clapping and do all this twerking for Shaq. He wasn't known as this. No, I'm sorry. He wasn't. No, he wasn't. One season. And then he gets to the playoffs. He doesn't play versus any big. No big that gives him real issues because none of them are scorers. None of them are primary scorers until he saw Tim Duncan. Oh, Tim Duncan, the scorer. We're all so afraid. Dirk Nowitzki cooked him. Dirk cooked him too. Kevin Garnett cooked him too. Bring them up.
No, I didn't send you to hell when you started this conversation.
Bring them up.
This went from bad to worse.
This is just nonsense.
It's just bullshit.
Was Dirk and KG not cooking him? Was Dirk and KG not cooking him? I just want to know. Or were they not cooking him? I just want to know.
Would they cook Jokic?
Were they cooking Shaq? Were they cooking him?
Would they cook Jokic?
All right, we're lying. Okay.
Would they cook Jokic? Would they cook Jokic, Swiper?
Jokic got a steal on SGA in the clutch.